Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well today. As you guys know, I love to bring you guys unique, interesting, and maybe guitars that kind of fly under the radar that not a lot of people know about. Such is the case today. Let's unbox this thing and find out what's inside. All right, you guys, so I've opened up the top of the box. I have not opened the guitar. I have not seen it before, so we're gonna do that together at the same time. All right, guys, here we go. I'm just gonna rip the plastic off. Here it is. Okay, like I said, I have not seen this guitar. This is the very, very first time I'm checking it out. Let's do it together. Okay. Now, the first thing to notice before I even unbox anything is check out the tuning pegs there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not something I usually look at. Let's find out what it is. Okay, here is the very, very first look. Ooh, I love that white cream and tort. But check this out. This is something, you know, I've played on Ibanez. I owned an Ibanez 7-string years ago, and it was kind of purpose built for, you know, like metal and stuff like that. This, look at that. We've got 2 single coils and a humbucker. Not something you usually see on a 7-string. So we're gonna see how versatile this guitar is. I have high hopes that this is gonna play, you know, like a beautiful, you know, single coil. You know, you can cover SRV, you can cover blues and all that kind of stuff with your single coils, and then go to the bridge and just rock out, you know, typical high output metal. I don't know, that's just what I'm hoping, because like I said, we just opened this up together. Let's do a quick run through some of the highlights and specs, but yeah, I just gotta plug this thing in. Absolutely gorgeous guitar. Okay, here we go. Let's hit you guys up with the quick specs, and then we're gonna plug it in and take a listen. Right, so here we go. As I'm sure you figured out from the headstock shape, this is a Vola. These are Japanese-made Super Strats. And every Vola I've played, you know, the attention to detail on these guitars, just beautiful. And the pricing on them, and this model is no exception, I think is very, very fair. And, you know, for a Japanese-made guitar, like really good pricing. So anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Let's do the quick specs. So here we go. Locking tuners, of course. Roasted maple neck, and this is a 7-string, so a little bit wider, nice and flattening on the back. My hands are kind of medium-sized hands, and it's not unwieldy at all, so really nice. Here's a look at the 24 stainless steel frets. So again, yeah, you're getting stainless steel frets. This priced here, excellent. Now we've got some interesting switching. We'll get to that and this in a second. But yeah, humbucker single. Bold move for a 7-string. Every 7-string I've ever played, you know, 2 high output humbuckers, and you can just kind of play it with a lot of gain. That's it. So super curious to try out those single coils to see if we can, yeah, play some different styles. And of course the switching, we'll get to it in a second. Alder body, here's a look at the contours and the scoops. Super ergonomic, as you would expect from a Vola. All right, let's get to the switching. Now, as for the electronics, we have a typical 5-way switch and humbucker single, which is my pick for the most versatile pickup layout on any guitar. The humbucker single, you can play almost every style on a guitar like this. And of course, you've got the 7th string, which brings you extended range, which is really cool. Now, the special switching. Here on the top, this adds your neck pickup wherever you are. And that really only comes into play if you're in position 2, then you get all 3 pickups on, or position 1, and you can go outside to outside. So that's always a nice option, and it's really nicely implemented. It's just a switch, and it's right by your neck pickup, so you're not gonna forget what that switch does. It's just neck pickup on, boom, there you go. Now, as for the bridge pickup, you can go parallel, series, or split. So really cool, and of course they label that, and I haven't peeled the protective layer off there yet. But anyway, so yeah, in the bridge pickup you have 3 options. You can split it, you can go series, which is regular, or parallel. And in combination, if you add your neck pickup, there are a lot of options on this guitar. And of course you can just leave them all normal and just play 5-way switch. And if you want to, say you're recording and you want a specific sound, that's where all these extra options come in. So let's plug it in and take a listen. Now I've been absolutely dying to try out this guitar, so I'm going to be using the single coil neck and I'm going to just be using my fingers, and I want to see how Strat-like this guitar can be. You know, not something I ever thought about, you know, playing 7-string before, but this guitar just kind of, you know, it's got the single coil. So here we go, clean neck pickup. I'm going to start on the 7th string. Try that with 4th. You know, there's a decent snappiness to that 7th string. It's not like all boggy and stuff. You know, that's kind of surprising to me, for sure. Let's try position 3, which usually is very chimey. Man, I swear to you guys, if I heard that, you know, I'd be like, that's a great sounding Strat. Now, honestly, straight out of the box, this thing sounds great. There's no special EQing going on or anything. And you know, it's gonna be a great foundation, so you can EQ it to your preference, but just straight out of the box, yeah, really nice Strat-like sounds. Let's go to position 2 and position 1. And then of course, we're gonna check out the special, you know, electronics, and of course, hit it up with some gain. Crazy, just hitting one chord, you've got 3 tones, plus on each one of those 3 tones, you can add the neck. So you can have parallel in the bridge with the neck, you can have series in the bridge with the neck, you can have split in the bridge with the neck, and of course with or without. So just in that one bridge, you can have so many different tones. And of course, I'm just, you know, calling them in and out just to hear the difference, because I have, you know, this is the first time I've used it as well. So, you know, insane amount of tones. So what I like about this is, yeah, you can just leave it in series, which is the regular humbucker. You can just ignore this switch, and you can just go 5-way, and already, you know, so many great clean tones. And then, like I said, if you want a specific tone that just is a little different, that sets you apart from someone else, or you're trying to, you know, lay down some tracks and you just need something that's a little different, man, holy crap, so many tones on this guitar. Let's add some gain and see what it sounds like. So here are my initial impressions, having just unboxed this guitar and plugged it in with you guys for the first time and just kind of experimented on a few different sounds. Insanely versatile. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get a guitar more versatile than this, with the extra switching, with the humbucker single, with the 7-string, so you get the extended range. And I love the fact that there's like a bunch of room right there, because as you guys heard when I was doing the high gain stuff, You can go behind the nut and bend, which is just so much fun. You get like, yeah, really cool kind of in-between tones when you do that. So I love the design that you have like a ton of space right there. In terms of fit and finish, insanely excellent. Like there's nothing on this guitar that would cause for concern at all. And having played Volas over the years, they just make excellent guitars. And you know, you look at this Japanese made 7-string, you're thinking like the price tag, and then you see the price tag and you're like, that's fair. Like, yeah, it's a great price for a guitar like this. And it's like a Strat on steroids is basically the way I could describe it, because you get that heavy, big 7-string that sounds fantastic with gain. But when you go to like position 4 or even the neck pickup and you play on it, and it's like, that 7-string is not boggy. Like it's got some snap to it. Like you can dig in and snap that string and it sounds clean and clear, which, yeah, astonishing stuff. Now, if you just want like a dedicated, you know, extended range 7-string guitar, you're probably going to want to go with something like with just high output humbuckers, fixed bridge, all that kind of stuff. Here, it's almost a completely different imagining of what a 7-string can be like, because you've got like that Strat, you've got the humbucker there, so you can get some heavy tones, even like the overdrive tones. I mean, almost anything you can do on this guitar, you can tweak it to sound amazing. So super impressed. First impressions, big thumbs up. Like this is a really cool guitar. It's not something, you know, I would normally gravitate towards, but man, yeah, it just blew me away. Really cool. And it's not like these little tweaks and stuff. Sometimes they're so subtle you can't hear, and I don't know how it'll come across on YouTube, but like when you switch between these settings and you add the neck pickup to the bridge, like it's dynamic. You can really hear the difference in terms of the attack, in terms of the tone, in terms of the sustain. Like it's unique tones, which is really cool. So yeah, overall, incredible guitar. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy it when I bring you interesting, unique, and super cool guitars. This one definitely fits the bill, so check it out. I'll link to it in the video description below. Other than that, have yourself a great day. Take care.